It's pushing back against the El Cajon City Council tonight. Why they say immigrants feel unsafe in the city.
A drunk driving crash that killed 4 men tonight. The man who admitted to causing it learns his fate.
Why are so many City of San Diego residents reporting huge spikes in their latest water bill? We're working for you to get some answers.
Starting September 1st, from $2.50 to $10 an hour. People aren't very happy about the new event parking prices. And drivers on the move tell us ways they plan to avoid it.
Legendary MMA fighter Dan Henderson opens a restaurant in Temecula with food he hopes will knock you out.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
We begin tonight in El Cajon, where some community members are pushing back against the city council and its sanctuary city status. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The pushback comes after the council voted months ago to approve a measure affirming El Cajon is not a sanctuary city. CBS 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from outside council chambers. Steffi, tell us what you've been hearing today.
Well, it's been a tense meeting so far. It's still going on behind me in the council chambers right now. And earlier, around 2:30 this afternoon, a group of residents met outside the council chambers and rallied ahead of the meeting. And at last check, 29 people were signed up to speak out against the council and the resolutions made in tonight's public comment. Now, in February, the El Cajon City Council approved affirming the city's status as a non-sanctuary city. The group of residents speaking out argues the measure absolves El Cajon's police officers of punishment if they cooperate with federal immigration authorities like ICE, as much as state law, Senate Bill 54, allows. However, Councilman Steve Goebel tells me that claim is incorrect, and they did not decide they should absolve, telling me via email that the resolution says the city will work with federal immigration to the legal extent permissible and only for the sole purpose of removing violent criminals from the community. But this measure sparked backlash from some residents who say that immigrants in the city feel unsafe, and they argue that the resolutions made go against SB 54.
We're here today to talk to our council members to see about them hopefully repealing their position on SB 54, as we have been working for the last 6 months here in East County to have them see the cause and effect of what it's been like. This isn't about safety, because this is making us less safe if people are afraid, and our city cannot be safe this way.
SB 54, the California Values Act, prohibits cities from turning anyone over to federal immigration authorities unless they have been convicted in court of certain felony crimes. Meanwhile, Councilman Goebel says that he will meet and speak with me after the meeting wraps up. As I said, it is still ongoing right now, but you'll hear more from him and other residents tonight at 10 and 11. But for now, reporting live from El Cajon, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steffi. We are learning more tonight about what prompted CBP officers to open fire on a man at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. It happened last night around 9. San Diego police investigators tell us he was driving in from Mexico and was referred to secondary inspection when he tried to drive away. They say the 59-year-old man refused to follow orders to stop, prompting 3 officers to open fire.
Eventually, the suspect was stopped. He was not hit by bullet fire, but he was injured because the windshield was broken by bullets. He has suffered minor lacerations to the face. He was taken into custody without further incident.
The 3 officers have not been named. San Diego police are handling the shooting part of the investigation, while Homeland Security will manage the federal criminal charges against the man.
A 22-year wait for justice is over for a San Diego family. Michael Romero Jr. was sentenced to life in prison for the 2002 murders of 30-year-old Patrick Green and 17-year-old Brandon Vigil. Romero was found guilty this past May of shooting Green and Vigil and leaving them to die along Willow Springs Road in eastern El Cajon. The case went cold until 3 years ago when an informant came forward and secretly recorded Romero admitting to the killings. For Arlene Pogue, Green's sister and Vigil's aunt, today's sentencing is a moment she and her family have been waiting for.
It feels really good because now we can live the rest of our lives without having to worry that it will never be taken care of and that we will never get justice. Justice is served today.
Romero was given 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 50 years. He has 60 days to appeal. A man who admitted to driving drunk and killing 4 people in a high-speed crash on the 163 last year learned his fate today. CBS 8's Brian White joins us live with what happened in court. Brian.
Yeah, it was emotional in court as 25-year-old Aleem Alaves learned his fate today. He expressed a lot of remorse for killing these 4 young men.
This case is so tragic and so sad.
Inside the courtroom, families of the 4 victims, who were young male refugees from Turkey, watched remotely from overseas as the sentence was handed down.
The family had a very devastating reaction, and add the confusion that this occurred in a different country. And you could see the frustration.
Prosecutors say Alaves was driving 108 miles an hour that night in July of last year on the 163 freeway with the gas pedal floored, showing 0 braking. After the crash, they say he didn't try to help. He tossed alcohol containers over a freeway bridge.
Rather than render aid to any of those dying victims, this defendant decided to throw alcohol containers that were all over his car over the freeway.
Alaves addressed the court directly, asking for forgiveness, not from the judge, but from the victims' families.
This is an apology letter towards the judge. It's not me asking for a second chance or an opportunity. It's me asking for forgiveness from the families and the friends for the pain and the grief I brought to each and every one of them.
The judge said Alaves had a blood alcohol level of 0.16 2 hours after the crash and sentenced him to 12 years in state prison. She noted how remorseful he seems.
The shame that he feels is obvious. It radiates from him.
Deputy District Attorney Spencer Sharp says the sentence was fair and that drinking and driving should never be an option under any circumstances.
There are too many alternatives to drinking and driving. Everyone is aware of the risks.
Alaves is now in state custody, beginning his 12-year sentence. A restitution hearing is scheduled for November. Reporting live from downtown, Brian White, CBS 8.
Thank you, Brian. The mayor of Chula Vista wants to be able to clear homeless encampments along freeways that run through the city, even though they're located on state property.
Mayor John McCann says the city is now in talks with Caltrans to reach an agreement similar to the one the city of San Diego announced a few weeks ago. Right now, Mayor McCann says if Chula Vista wants to clear an encampment from Caltrans property, it can take months to get the proper permits and approvals. The agreement would aim to drastically cut that time frame.
It's sort of like playing whack-a-mole. We don't want to play whack-a-mole anymore. We want to be consistent. We want to allow homeless to get off the streets, to be able to provide them services. But if they want to stay out and create these homeless encampments, we're not going to allow them to do that.
Mayor McCann promised that people from these encampments will be offered services and shelter beds. Today marked the official end of summer break for thousands of students across the county.
More districts welcomed students back for the new school year today. That includes the San Dieguito Union High School District, which welcomed 11,000 students across its 10 campuses. And in that district, it's a very special year for Pacific Trails Middle School, celebrating its 10th anniversary. Other districts that started today include Solana Beach, Cardiff, and Encinitas Union School Districts. And as kids head back to school, the risk of getting sick increases.
This year, doctors say it's worse due to declining vaccination rates. Tonight, we're working for you with ways that you can prepare. Cases of whooping cough have doubled compared to last year, with more than 9,000 cases reported nationwide. Measles is making a troubling comeback with nearly 1,400 cases across the U.S. this year. Here in San Diego County, county leaders reported its first measles cases in an unvaccinated teenager who recently traveled abroad. County leaders say vaccination rates here have dropped below the 95% threshold needed for community protection.
It's a really high vaccination rate to have that protective herd immunity.
And as flu and RSV season approaches, doctors stress the importance of vaccinations, good hand hygiene, and keeping sick kids home to keep them from spreading illnesses to others. Many San Diegans are noticing a spike in their water bills.
We're working for you to find out why. That's still ahead. Plus, why Spirit Airlines is warning its business may be nearing its final destination.
Starting September 1st, from $2.50 to $10 an hour. People aren't very happy about the new event parking prices, and drivers on the move tell us ways they plan to avoid it.
That marine layer is rolling right back in again for tonight all the way through tomorrow morning. Now that's also going to aid in helping our temperatures cool as we go into the second half of this work week and over the weekend. I'll explain everything after the break.